Let's start with the powertrain. You've got obviously the GM 3.6, but you've improved it.
But no, it's more than improved. It's all brand new, completely redesigned from the ground up. The engine's been designed from the ground up to be a start-stop engine, which is the first time we've ever done in a GM. So
I can ask, why didn't you allow the driver to turn that feature on and off? Some people find it annoying.
I think because one of the reasons is it's so seamless, and then the other thing is I think it's just a conscious decision for us when we're working with the legal authorities around when we claim this is our fuel economy.
Right.
It's a real number, because if you give someone the opportunity to turn it off, then from an emission standpoint, from a fuel economy standpoint, is that really what they're getting? So, and I think our drive to be totally seamless is the main reason. It just, it's a feature that I don't think is annoying at all, in my personal opinion. So.
And then the other thing you've done is you've got cylinder deactivation, right?
Correct. And
Tell me about that.
And that's where the fuel economy side of it comes in. So we've also improved this engine with the standard SAE test is the most efficient, fuel efficient cylinder set in the industry. And we have, variable valve timing. We got active fuel management, which means we can go from 6 to 5 to 4 cylinder mode in the vehicle when we're going down the highway. You couple that with the start-stop and the new 8-speed transmission. We see a significant improvement in fuel economy of the car.
All right, so we're in the interior of the new LaCrosse, and it's very elegant in here.
Thank you.
It's very elegant.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
I love this area especially. I like how you separated the climate from the rest of the vehicle. Tell me, when you approach a car like this, obviously you're trying to design a car for very different countries, for very different generations.
Right.
How does that play into what this ends up looking like?
I think the most important thing about that you kind of set the architecture where you're at. We try to lay the system on a very ergonomically correct way first. That's the first thing we do. So we get the steering wheel position correct. We get the eye ellipse set from where the passengers or the drivers are going to look out the windshield, where the A-pillars are going to be, where the shifter needs to be. And then from there, once you have that over our architecture set up, and then you start working towards where does the radio controls going to be, where does that face height need to be, where are the buttons for the headlamps, the door switches, you kind of lay those out. And then once you have that set up, you kind of go after the artists come in and start looking at the themes and how they want it to flow. And like giving an example, this particular piece of chrome right here, when we first designed it, in order to put the thing together and build it in an assembly plant, we had 2 cuts right here. And that was kind of a manufacturing requirement, but we really pushed the engineering team to say, that just doesn't flow, it looks very discontinuous, how can we redesign this? What do we need to do to ensure that this is one long piece of chrome and it's very elegant and it flows? That was a very challenging piece of engineering work to make that happen, but as you can see, the guys did a great job of executing that piece of it. And then the other side of it is, how do you get high quality in everything you do? How do the buttons feel, and making sure that you're going after the right feel and texture of everything. And again, this faceplate of the radio, there was a lot of work put into that to make sure we had the right feel and film on the screen, so that every time you touch it, you don't get a fingerprint on it. So you're balancing all of that. And then again, the gauges. How do you lay out the gauges so that every one of them is visible through the steering wheel, depending on what the height of the driver is, and a short person versus a high person versus a tall person. So a lot of that goes into it. And one of the things we did, we wanted to make sure that on the old last generation car, we had 2 clusters. We had a base cluster and we had an up-level cluster. And we felt, that for where we were going and what we wanted to give our customers, that all of our customers deserve that real clean, nice look of the up-level cluster. So we incorporated the 8-inch screen into the cluster on all models. So that was one I pushed really hard for, and I'm glad we went with this.
And you went to an electronic shifter, which is new, which opened up the space under here, right?
Absolutely. This gives us a lot of opportunity to package the shifter in the correct ergonomic location. It's also kind of fun to drive because it has a very futuristic joystick kind of feel to it, and it also helps us from an N&V standpoint because we don't have any cables connecting this now. It's going through the front of the dash into the engine compartment, so we don't have any holes in there that can let sound travel through. You don't have the friction of the cable, so it gives a lot of great opportunities to give the customer a nice feel and appearance at the same time.
Here's a softball question. What are you the proudest of?
What am I the proudest of?
Yeah, I mean, this is your baby, right?
You know, I've had that question asked me several times, and I guess what I'm the most proudest of is I think we took this car. It was a really good car. We made it a great car. So when you make that step to greatness, I don't think it's that you can point to one thing. It's the overall refinement of the vehicle. It's you know how much we improve the powertrain smoothness, putting the 8-speed transmission in, going to a 5-link rear suspension versus a 4-link. Those kind of attributes, just taking every little detail of the car and making it the best it can be. Like a good example of that is we have a whole barrage of tests we go through. There's 125 different noises that we measure in the car. So we'll measure everything from how does the door handle sound, how does the wiper motor sound, how does the window lift regulator sound, and we benchmarked the industry, and we wanted to make sure that we were the leader in every one of those areas. So we spent a lot of time and a lot of, you know, just burrowed in on every aspect of the car to try to be the best there is in the industry.
Meet the 2017 Infiniti QX30. And recently I had a chance to chat with the guy responsible for the entire car, the chief engineer. And that interview and that everything you ever wanted to know video is coming up right now on TFL Now.